Hi, I'm Peg Fitzpatrick, and welcome to the Social Success Series. Today we have Amy Locurto of Living Locurto, and she is a huge Pinterest aficionado, and she's done a ton of great stuff with Pinterest. So I cannot wait for you guys to meet her if you don't already know her. Thank you for coming and chatting with me, Amy.
Thank you for having me. It's good to see you.
It
Yeah,
is. It's been a while since we've seen our faces face to face, unless you count like on Instagram, right?
right. Well, that counts.
It does count. And thank you for the, I have to say though, sometimes I have to go find you because the algorithm's just so bad these days, don't you think?
I know it stinks.
You have
Yep,
to go look for people, and that's hard to remember.
it is definitely.
So, you have been a Pinterest ambassador, and you're a Pinterest influencer too, because you have a really fantastic account. Can you talk a little bit about how you feel like Pinterest has changed over the years? Because I mean, were you in during beta? Because I've been in during beta. Like if that's, I've been on it forever.
Yeah, where you had to have an invite to get in.
Yeah,
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 yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, we've been there from the beginning, and yeah,
yeah.
I've been doing Living Locurto, which is a DIY lifestyle blog. It's all about cute food and entertaining ideas and crafts. Been doing it for 16 years. So, of
Wow.
course, I was around before Pinterest even came out. And then when Pinterest came out, everybody was getting the invite to be on it. And so yeah, it's evolved a lot since then. I think that but what I love about it is it's stayed with its traditional thing of just everything is creative. It's about
Hmm.
learning, it's about inspiration, and now they've moved on to it's also about shopping.
Right.
So I love that. But it's always been about just how to find really cool inspiration and creative
Hmm.
ideas. So I think they've done well to stay with that. So
Yeah, I
uh,
forgot we're both in the Pinterest creator program too. We're currently Pinterest creators. Although
yeah.
all of you are Pinterest creators too, but we just have a little teeny bit of behind the scenes Pinterest stuff right now. I wish they would tell us a little more, to be honest, than they do in that group.
Yeah, it's if people don't know what it is, it's they have a like an invite only for specific people, and they have little talks with us and meetups and that kind of thing. So it's just a way, which is how I got started working with them, as they reached out to me years ago to be their Pinterest ambassador. And they wanted me to
Hmm.
help build that team of people. And we would go out and just tell our influencer friends and our community and our local community about Pinterest. And so now they're doing that themselves online. But we did that back in the day. And then
Yeah,
it
you did
turned
an
into
in-person event with them, right? Didn't you?
Oh, I did a lot. And
Yeah.
then they hired me to be their official speaker at conferences.
Mm.
And that's how I met you. I met you in a group like online.
Probably with Holly Homer.
Yeah. And then I
You know
met
what
you
it was? It was Google
online.
Plus.
Google.
I met all of you mom bloggers on Google. It's true. I met a whole big group of like
Mhm.
crafty mom bloggers
Yeah.
that I still am connected with, even though I mean I'm a mom, but I'm not in that do it
And
yourself space but it was
yeah.
like such a great connection because everybody does things a little bit differently. I'm a social media marketer. I work in marketing, but we're all using Pinterest and we have websites, and so it's always great to see a little bit like behind the scenes of what other people are doing.
Right. And that's how ended
I
up
think
getting to
it
know
was
you,
Google Plus though.
speaking somewhere and talking about Pinterest for them because they didn't
Yeah,
have anything in-house to do it at the time. So I was it.
that's awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
I would say my biggest like I did Pinterest launches with Canva. When I worked at Canva, I did product launches with them, which was fun. So
I
that's
didn't know
like
you
the
were in Canva. Huh.
you didn't know
What?
I worked at Canva?
Oh,
I was the first head of social strategy at Canva.
how did I not know that? That's
Because it was
crazy.
a long time ago. But I mean, I talk about Canva all the time, but who doesn't now? But
Yeah.
before anybody knew about it, that I kind of helped make Canva a thing
That's
initially. So
you.
yeah. back in the day. And now who knows even what they're doing now. I think they just passed 200 million users today.
Wow.
When I was
Crazy.
there, we had a little ticker thing that would show you like when people were like new people were joining and it was like, yay, new people. It was crazy. But that's
That's
how
awesome.
small they were then.
That's cool.
So back to Pinterest, even though I just love talking to you about all stuff. A lot of people think Pinterest is just about recipes and do-it-yourself projects, which it is a lot of, and we love that. But how do you think small businesses often overlook Pinterest's potential? So like what can they do to not overlook that? How could they use it? I really made that really hardly as worded as possible for you. Sorry.
I mean, it's not just DIY crafty people. I was just on there and I saw something for Fidelity and
Mm,
investing into your 401k. I mean,
mm-hmm.
it's a place to market your business,
Yeah.
basically, but in a pretty way. It's visual. And that's
Mm-hmm.
what people need to realize is, let's say you're a band and you want to promote your band. That's the perfect place to do it because there's going to be, what I like about it is, I think there's like, gosh, 500 million people or something on
That's a lot of
it
people.
right now, and 90 million of those are in the US. At one point, my per month, I was reaching 60 million people.
Wow.
So I was reaching almost all the
Two,
people
like
in
two-thirds. You were reaching like two-thirds of all Pinterest users in the US.
everybody in the United States. Isn't that crazy? That is on
It
Pinterest. So
is. Yeah.
for you, and anybody can have that. I'm not special. I just ended up, I had a strategy. I did my thing and it worked and I was able to reach that many people and I had a lot of sales. I had a lot of traffic to my website. So, I mean, if people just, and that's what I used to talk about when when I was speaking on Pinterest behalf at social
Hmm.
media conferences, there would be standing room, sitting on the floor only for Facebook people. And then
Yep.
I was in the Pinterest room and there would be like 10 people in there. And
I've
it
done
could have
that.
500 people. And I was like,
Yep.
why is nobody in here? This is nuts. But more
Hmm.
traffic for me, at the time. I was just like, great. If people don't want to utilize this, that's their problem. But it didn't make any sense to me. So I think that people really do just think, oh, that's just for those crafty people and artsy
Right.
people, fashion, people selling clothes. No, it's for financial advice. It's for your band to promote it. It's for party planners, photographers. I mean, anybody that does anything creative, or you can turn whatever you do into something creative because people are there to get inspiration and to learn. So,
Yeah. I have also been the Pinterest speaker at many a conference where people
yeah.
were like, Pinterest? Really? Why? Why should, hey, kitty. I just saw your little kitty go by.
Oh,
Your little visitor behind you. Um,
mm,
yeah, it's crazy. And I still feel like people now, even today, are like, they just have let it fall off of their social things. And what people are missing is that every single thing that you create can have a link to it. Every single video. Like you can create all the reels that you want, but those are not going to link, not one click link back to your website.
right. Or you
Hello,
can link,
people.
even if you don't have a website, you can link it to your YouTube channel or your Instagram or your TikTok.
Right.
I mean, it's hard to do it all. But I
Yeah.
think for me, I will focus on that because that is tried and true. Um, it brings me most of my income, so I'm going to focus on that.
Hmm.
So um, I'm very into it.
I'm also into it. I love it. I do love it. So when using Pinterest for business, what are the key differences between using it for casual inspiration versus a real marketing strategy?
Well, when you're on it for casual reasons, the things you start pinning to your boards will be what Pinterest starts showing you. So it's hard to, you kind of need to separate it. So get on there and just realize that when you're pinning your content for business, let's say you're a bank or I don't know, you're in
Just pick
real
a bank. Just let's stick with financial services.
bank, whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
And you're going to start seeing that content all the time and know that that's not the stuff that Pinterest is showing you, because it's the algorithm. It's going to show you that stuff. Doesn't mean that's super popular. It's just what you are seeing. And if you go look
Mm.
at your grandma's account, they're going to see something totally different. So everything's personalized to you. So you have to kind of
Yeah.
think that way. You have to really do research, like incognito or in another browser or on another computer if you want to really kind of dive into the data and everything on what you're pinning. So you need to have a strategy and
Hmm.
um, don't. So when you're doing it personal, like for a while, I was pinning swimming pool ideas for my backyard. And then that's all I would see. I was like, oh, I want to see the tank because, that's what I do for a living. So just
Right.
remember that. So it's just a little different. Um, but yeah, you can get, and you get stuck. It's just like any social media platform. You can like TikTok, I could be on that all night, all day
Yeah.
long. But just focus, you don't need to spend a lot of time doing Pinterest. You just
Which is
need,
another thing I love about it.
yeah. I mean, you could spend an hour a week and do just as well as somebody that's spending 8 hours a day on it. You really don't need to think that hard. That's why I like it.
Yeah. Which is great for small business owners because they don't have 8 hours,
Yeah.
they really don't.
Yeah.
Um,
And I would think if you're a small business owner, you need to just look at like what's your top 5 products or services and really focus on those
mhm.
and think of a strategy in a way that would work for Pinterest users, because you have to remember Pinterest users are there for inspiration and ideas. So give them the ideas and then get that hook to get them to
Mhm.
click through. And it could even be to get something free, like a freebie, free advice or something, just to get them to sign up for your email list or something. It doesn't have to
Yeah.
be sell, sell, sell. It's just how can we capture the people's attention over on Pinterest? So
Right. And make things that are so interesting that other people pin them. If you're a
yeah,
business, make it like,
right.
something that people want to save because that's the whole thing. Sometimes you just look at something, but if I like it, I always pin it. And then I go
Yeah.
look at it. Sometimes I'll go read it first, but almost always I pin it because I don't want to lose it.
Right. But then people, you know, you need to repin it again because people will save it, but then they forget they saved it. So it's okay to pin it again 6 months down the road or 3 months, just keep it in their, little eyes, because
Yeah, keep
I
it in the
think people
remix.
forget where it is, like,
Yeah.
hmm
And they definitely would not be like, I saw that pin 3 months ago.
no, you're not going to remember.
Never. Sometimes I see my own pin. I'm like, that's a great pin. Oh, I made it. You don't even remember.
It's me.
Yeah, so good.
Um,
um, how can businesses create pins that keep driving traffic, even that will last for months or even show up different in next year again? Because I know you probably have a lot of great holiday content that comes up certain times of the year, right?
Oh yeah, I think the secret is to pin way in advance. Okay. So like I will be doing, like, I have these ideas for Halloween. Let's say I'm going to do them today. I can put them on TikTok or Instagram and they'll be fine, but they're not going to get in the search feed over on Pinterest because it's way too late. So I will
Mm-hmm.
just schedule those for next year, right? I
Yeah.
might put one now, just maybe it'll still get in the feed, but I'm going to do it a little closer to next Halloween. So I might pin it in July of 2025. You see what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I'm not even going to bother putting any effort into it for this year because it's just too late. You have to do
Yeah.
things way in advance to get into the search.
I
So,
started seeing Christmas stuff in July for sure. That was when people
oh,
started with Christmas and they were hard into fall. Like back to school was already done.
yeah.
Pinners are planners and they do things really early. And Pinterest does give you a lot of great trends that you can look up on trends.pinterest.com
Mhm.
to just look things up when things are going on. So just if you guys are just listening on a podcast or watching, it's like October 23rd now. So it's like 2 weeks is not enough. So it's
Yeah.
Amy's saying months in advance.
Yeah. I would think minimum 1 month in advance. The best is about between 3 and 2 months before something
Mm-hmm.
is going to trend. So whether it's a holiday or cucumbers or asparagus, if you're a food blogger, I mean, pumpkin season, fall. I mean, there's all that. So you really even if you are a financial advisor or something like that, you need to be thinking of those trends. And
Mm-hmm.
so somehow tie that into your marketing campaign on Pinterest.
With images, you could use images and colors, still your brand colors, but
Oh yeah, or just have like somebody in a Halloween costume and saying plan for the future and you've got a little ghost with you. I mean, it's just it's simple. Like it
yeah,
just to me it seems so simple, but because it's visual and
right.
I'm a graphic designer, so
It is
but
so
I
visual
like
there.
it so much. Is it's easy for me, but it's not if you're not a visual person. So
Right.
I get it.
I'm
I
also
make it
visual.
kind of confusing to some people. Hmm.
Yeah, but it's really not. I mean, compared to like other like TikTok or Instagram where there's just all this other stuff going on, Pinterest
Yeah,
is very quiet. And I do like that you can just go on and do your own thing. You do get into the rabbit hole if you start looking at different things, but
yeah,
you can really just go on and do your thing, check your
yeah,
analytics, do whatever.
yeah. And they're promoting it as the happy place. And what's happening from that is they're getting the Gen Zers. They're getting the
Hmm.
young kids who love it over there because there's not a lot of drama. It's a
Zero
happy,
politics.
well, I think there is some, but yeah, it's
I
not like
haven't seen any, thank goodness. Knock on wood. Hope
people
it stays
are
off.
well, it's your feed. It's showing you what you like. So there could be somebody out there doing some political stuff and that's what they're seeing. So it's there.
Okay, you're right.
It's
I never
there.
even see it in the home feed or anywhere. Anywhere I look, I have
And
never seen it.
some of the comments can get pretty heated. I have
Oh,
got
yeah, yeah.
a lot of hate over there. And so that's the other
Mm-hmm.
thing. You still have to monitor comments. And even though they say it's not a social media platform,
Mm-hmm.
it is. People can say bad reviews about your company. People can, you
Yeah.
know, do all kinds of things. So you do need to monitor it. It's not just like put it up there and forget about it. So
Yeah.
make sure that you do check, what's going on. And there is a button you can check engagements and you can see what people are commenting and all that. All
I
that.
have had a couple weird comments. They're almost more weird because it's like the people don't really know you. Like they're not really connected. They're like they just say something like somebody just left a rude one like I need this step by step, but they said it in a really like jerky way. It's like, dude, just all you have to do is click on the pin and go it. 98% of pins will lead you to the whole step by step when you click through, but you can't always fit it
That's
all on the graphic.
a lot of many years of just educating the users over there on how to use it. Like
Hmm.
sometimes I would, when they came out with video, it was different where you would click. You had to click on the title of
Hmm.
the pin instead of there was no button. So you had to tell people click the title to get the information because people were commenting, I don't know how to you shared this video, but there's no instructions. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I wish Pinterest would do more of educating their users, but they don't. So
Well,
it's
they
kind of,
didn't really want the videos to link anywhere, but they gave in finally.
yeah.
So, so Pinterest SEO can be a bit of a mystery. What are some of the must-know basics to make sure your pins will show up in search?
Ooh. The must-know basics are basically kind of similar to Google. You're just gonna find keywords that people are searching, and it's it's a little different on Pinterest than Google, but not much. I mean,
Hmm.
you might have more detailed descriptions of, and it might be, it's what I've noticed is when it says, you mentioned trends, you can go and search the trends, trending topics on Pinterest. They're always about a month behind of what's really trending. So, you know,
Hmm.
do those for next year. Like they're not now and going, oh, lasagna soup's trending. You know why it's trending? Because it was trending on TikTok 4 months ago. Now Pinterest has it trending, but it's
Yeah.
done. It's done. Nobody, you can try and get in on it, but so that might not ever trend again. Well, I don't know. It's
Yeah.
so because it was going nuts over on TikTok.
It's
Um,
funny how that happens. The baked feta went viral, and
mm,
then the cucumber salads went viral, and now I'm like obsessed with those. Have you tried those?
oh, of course, because I have a 18-year-old daughter. It's like, I need to make this. I'm like, oh my gosh. Yeah, that guy, I mean, he made everything go viral with that, and that was from TikTok. So
Yep.
that's the other thing. Like, I wouldn't dive too much into the trends because if it's more evergreen, you're just going to do better the next year because I guarantee
Yeah.
you that lasagna soup or the cucumbers are not going to be a thing next year. And you're going to spend all that time, and it's 4 months ago over on TikTok. So it's not even a thing. Like those kids are on there making it trending, but it's not, they don't care they're not going to care. So you have to think
Right.
more evergreen, generic. Let's just do soup or let's just do lasagna. And maybe those words that you have in there, if it does trend again next year, you'll get in the feed. But I try to tell my students and people that I coach, just let's just do evergreen because I've been caught up in the trends before and then it just sucks. You spend all that time creating
Yes.
pins and content, and then the next year it's just gone
Excuse me.
forever and you never see it again. So,
Yeah.
what?
So sorry about that. So you basically skip the trends, really, as they show them.
Pinterest. Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I'm Pinterest
Yeah.
because
That's
they're not trending. They're
mhm.
they're only showing what has trend. It's not ahead of the time. it's
Right.
it's
So, do
um,
you think a better plan for a small business owner is to make your own schedule for the year? Like, know that you're going to have these things and then plan it a couple months ahead. But then also, for the most of the time, you're doing evergreen content because it's not timely things like this thing is happening this Friday. Like those kinds of
there's
things will
always
never.
trends that are going to be
Yeah.
like pumpkin season. Um,
Mm-hmm.
that is always a thing. But I'm just saying, like a certain type of soup, it's not like if you're let's say you make those little you're selling those little seasonings for soup, and you're like, oh, and you go to Pinterest and you see that lasagna soup's trending, and you're going to go and sell it. Well, that's cool, but is it going to work next year? Like you just spent all that time? I don't know. So yeah,
Right.
like try and find something that everybody's going to love, because that's just a certain little. I would just to be safe, and then once you get all of those your content plan, then you can think more trending items. If you can get in there quick, the best is if you can do it before it trends on Pinterest. But that's
Mm-hmm.
just and that's where I have really been successful is we create the trends. So
Right.
I'm in that crowd that will like I'll just come up with something and then it goes viral and now it's trending on Pinterest, but I did it 6 months before it trended.
Right. And
That,
that's your planning because you knew that October was going to come around and that you wanted to have Halloween snacks and treats, but you started them in the summer and got them going.
well, we see
So then
what
when it,
like I'm in the business of doing that. So yeah,
mhm.
you see, okay, I think blue is going to be really popular when it comes to, let's say, Christmas decor or whatever. That's going to be the thing. Like we all know that like in February. So it's hard. And so if you are a small business, you'll know those things because that should be something you're looking at. So I do think that the trends help you come up, and you can go back and look at what did it do last year. Sorry, there's somebody doing lawn work out there. So what did it do last year? And then you can kind of see if it stayed high like during that month every year in a row. It's pretty cool. So there is a
Mhm.
lot of really cool data on the trends area of Pinterest for sure.
Do you
Yeah.
use mostly Pinterest analytics or do you also use Google Analytics, even though I don't like GA4? I don't know about you, but
Oh
it's
my
not my
gosh, I
favorite.
hate it so much.
Me
Yeah,
too.
I did. I used just analytics, Google analytics forever. And now it's just more of a crapshoot. Like it's
Mm-hmm.
really hard to find the data. I mean, I've figured it out, but because that's, what I do for a living, I have to figure it out. But yeah, I think for the most part, you can look at your Pinterest analytics. It's just really hard to. So, what you need to do, this is a great tip, is download your data every quarter or every month, whatever you can do, because you can't go back further than what, 100 and something days,
80. Yeah, I think
180
180.
days on your Pinterest analytics. So, you need to download that data and then you need to store it somewhere that you'll remember where it is. And so it's very important because I think you have to have the data to see what was successful so you can see what you can do next year.
That's true. Have you ever taken that and put it into like Chat GBT and asked it to analyze it for you?
Oh yeah, I mean,
Because it could give you trends
you
and spot things.
well, it's hard to with for somebody like me that has so much different content and so much content that doesn't ever really work for me. But you could, like, if you're very niche and you're just trying to figure out which should I talk about, this or this, then that
Mm-hmm.
would be a great alternative.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If someone has older content and they haven't really been pinning lately, and then they're like, okay, I love this conversation. I'm definitely gonna go back to Pinterest. How can they like breathe new life into that and get it working for them?
I'm glad you asked me because I've been designing Pinterest templates with Canva for the past 4 or 5 years, and most of the influencers I know use them. They're very popular, and people get tons of traffic. So what they do is they'll use one of my templates or their own templates, their own design, and they will just create a whole new pin. And we call that a fresh pin, and it means it's a new image. It has new colors, new text. Maybe it's got a new title, and that just can really revive something old that's already out there. Um, and so that's a really easy way to do that. It takes seconds if you have a template. You can just drag and
Yeah.
drop and boom, add it to Pinterest and schedule
Yep.
it, duplicate it, schedule it for, several months out, and you're good for the whole year, which is
Yeah.
five.
I like to make one and then schedule. I like to use Plan for Pinterest, and then you can just schedule it to different boards out over different months. Like Tailwind used to be where we used to repin a whole bunch of stuff a lot, but I just do them out over longer periods now, just to,
Yeah,
you make a graphic and you put it out like once a month for 3 months or something like that. So
exactly. Yeah, so
just
doing
keep
fixing
it
it,
rotating.
rotating and having some fresh fresh colors and designs and make it look holiday-ish if it's a holiday um time of the year. It doesn't even need to be
Hmm.
holiday related. As long as you could put a snowman on there and people will be like, "Oh, snowman," because it's Christmas time. It's something to catch people's eye. It's all in how you design your pen.
Yeah. And it's really Christmas like 6 months of the year on Pinterest. So you're pretty
Yeah.
good with that. For somebody who's just getting started, what's one thing they should focus on, do you think, to get some traction?
Well, I think I kind of mentioned it. Just basically focus on your top content, your top selling products, your top services that bring you your income, and
Hmm.
or plan how you want to use Pinterest. So focus on, maybe I want to get leads for my newsletter. Maybe I want to get people to come to my event. Maybe I want them to book my band. So, got to really think of a marketing strategy and then how is that going to work? So I would just, yeah, focus on the marketing strategy and then focus on just a few items and really make those pins look amazing and have the great keywords in there that can get found in search and put a lot of them in there. So I think it's just simple is good, and um just focus on what is already working for you. You know what that is if you have a business, and just put it on
Hmm.
there. But but put it on there in a way that Pinterest users will like it. So that's where it gets a little, it's where you want to work with somebody like us, who we're creatives. We're on there all the time. If you need help, you can always call us.
Find someone. Yep. So what's one Pinterest myth that you would want to clear up that you think you hear and just makes you crazy?
Oh, when people say that you have to pin like 85 pins a day or
Oh,
something like that,
mm-hmm.
that's
Mm-hmm.
crazy. Or people will say, I was told that there's something that people are saying for a long time. I'm like, where are you hearing this? Like, just no, I would just pin like 5 things. That's all. I mean, you don't need to pin 100 things a day. You know,
No.
if you can pin one thing a week, it's better than none. Like, because
Yeah.
if it gets in search, you're gold. But if it doesn't, then you go back and pin it again, or change up the design of the pin, or change your text, or do something if you don't start seeing any traction. But
Yeah.
I don't think you have to pin a ton to see results on Pinterest. It just has to be really thought out content. And, um, you know, I think that that's one of the myths that I think is kind of crazy. Don't you,
Yeah.
also, uh, you know, you don't have to do what everybody else is doing.
That's good advice for life, right?
It is. I mean, yeah, test things out and get
Mm-hmm.
your own data before, or talk to somebody that has the data before
Yeah.
listening
That's
to
good.
all the things.
Very good. And Amy, where can people keep up with you and find out more about what you're doing?
Oh, okay. Glad you asked. I have a website called amycircle.com, and you can visit there. I've got courses and all kinds of Pinterest templates for everyone. I have some new ones that I just launched. They are for lifestyle and food influencers and creators. And I was going to give you a discount for anybody watching this. You can go to amycircle.com, and if you want to, I have 9 tips, 9 secrets to Pinterest success. If you're a newbie and you just really want those 9 tips, it's use um, Peg 15, and you can get 15% off that. And you can use the same code Peg 15 for those new templates. It says new on Amy's Circle, and you can get 15%
Awesome.
off it. They're really
Awesome.
inexpensive. I think they're like $1 each. It's like,
So time saving. When you have good templates, you can just reuse them forever. You just
yeah,
rebrand them with your own colors. You can change the fonts if you want a little to match your stuff. New images, and then and
yeah.
also they're not templates that are already on Canva. So they would
None of
be unique.
mine are very, and I don't like Canvas at all. Like, they don't
Hmm.
work. So all of mine have been tested by influencers and creators, and they work really well. And I change them out a lot, but I have samples of content that you can pin in my templates. So I do a lot of research on that, and you could just make a pin with whatever I have in there. Because I have keywords, it's optimized, it's ready for you. You can just slap new pictures in there and put it up. I'm here to help you. So I've been teaching and coaching since
Long time.
2019
Hmm.
about Pinterest. So, and I worked with Pinterest back in 2016, I think. So
Hmm.
16 through
Been
18.
doing it for a long time. And is your Amy Circle also, is that like a community that people can join?
I do. I have a small mastermind right now. It's closed, but there is
Hmm.
a wait list if you would like to join. Sign up, and then when I'm ready to open it, I will. And I'm working on a course as well. I had a mastermind course, but things just change, and then so I'm actually doing everything I'm teaching. Like, I'm not just coaching and making money from the coaching. I'm making money from my business, and then I'm just sharing what I'm doing because I've been doing this so long. I'm sort of like semi-retired in that sense of it. So I love helping people, and I
Yeah.
found my passion in teaching and helping other people because I've been doing this so long. I'm like, I'm just sort of I've figured it out. I'm not I don't want to be like some famous I'm just here to help. And I just love my community and I love meeting people and getting together. So I created a course and then people loved it so much. That's how I ended up having a small mastermind. Well, it was a big mastermind and it's getting smaller and smaller just because people move on, but
You know what? The goal is always to have people learn stuff and then fly on their own. That's what I feel like that with my blog. Like,
events now. Now I do events and we travel and
yeah,
it's just really we're just a tight knit group of people and I love it so much. And so I've been really focused on that. And then I need to get back into I've done about a year of research on Pinterest. And so I'm
wow.
working on the new course. It's just I'm kind of waiting to see if they're going to drop anything new because you never know. And I'm like, oh, as soon as I tell you here's the secrets, then they'll have
Yep.
a whole new thing. So I think they're at a good place. So I'm like, oh, maybe I can start my new mastermind
They're
course.
going to wait till you're done filming and then they'll update something crucial.
Exactly. Yeah. So I've just been sort of like, oh, waiting to see what happens. But I think it's good. I think they're kind of back to where they used to be and
Yeah.
focused on the creators and the
Hmm.
content and the user experience is a lot better. So I think that,
Yeah.
yeah, it's really good. But yeah, anybody, and then I do consulting. So if anybody wants to call and have a one-on-one with me, I'm happy to look at your Pinterest account, do an evaluation, and kind of give you some tips on what to do. I work with brands a lot when it comes to that. Like,
Yeah. That's
mm,
awesome.
yeah.
We didn't even talk about that. That's a whole other show, is all your brand work and brand collabs that you've done.
Yeah, the coolest thing I did was with Coca-Cola. So I got to
I
do,
actually remember your Coca-Cola
yeah,
stuff.
we were trying to help them grow on Pinterest, but our pins did better than Coca-Cola. So a lot of times you want to work with we call ourselves power pinners. Like we do better than the big brands. It's pretty
Hmm.
crazy. Yeah.
It is. Well, Pinterest likes what they like. I feel like they know when people have been on there a long time and that you already have successful content and your website is trustworthy and they love it. People don't get bad experiences when they go there. They kind of look at all these different things, you
Yeah.
know?
Well, that's the other thing I wanted to say. Just one of the best practices is use your own images, use your own photos, use your own content. It's not good to just take other people's and just try and make a buck off of it. I've seen that a lot over there, but they're doing
Hmm.
really well about stopping that, with all the AI and all the stuff
Yeah.
that's happening. So,
Ugh. Instantly, all the hair things were AI photos, like
yeah.
hairstyles. I don't trust AI hairstyles. I want to see it on someone's actual hair. AI hair could be anything. I have
I
I straightened up, but I have
know.
naturally curly hair. I need to see someone else with really curly hair, not AI hair,
Exactly. I
right?
know. Too perfect. You can tell now.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
yeah, if you see any of that, you can report it and get that off of there because we want to have our Pinterest be nice and
yeah.
perfect.
Just peaceful, calm, with lots of great things to inspire us.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you coming and sharing your Pinterest expertise. I'm sure people are going to love it. I will have the links to Amy's stuff down in the and there'll be a blog post that will have all this on there with all the links, so you guys can check it all out and grab Amy's templates. So,
Yeah.
thank you. Wait, I
Thanks for
hope you
having
guys are inspired I hope everybody's inspired to go actually pin some things and just get started with your Pinterest again. If you gave it a little break, it's not too late. Hop in.
me.
Thank
Yeah, next
you.
book. Thanks
Oh,
for having
thank
me.
you. I appreciate that. Okay,
Okay. Bye,
I'm gonna
Betty.
end I'm gonna stop recording.